Is it still morning?
It still is.
All right, well, good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here. It's important that the city of Chicago sees a full display of a remarkable presentation of what it means to serve this city. Let me just, first of all, just congratulate, the families who demonstrate their love by supporting their relatives who made a commitment to serve with honor and dignity on the front lines here in the city of Chicago. Our superintendent and our first deputy have demonstrated a remarkable amount of ingenuity and creativity. And just know that the city of Chicago is aligning with what works. And that's a complementary approach to build a better, stronger, safer Chicago. And again, today is a display of the best part of this city, and that's the people of Chicago prepared and willing to serve on the front lines. So, thank you.
Mayor, how's the search going for a new superintendent?
It's going fine. I mean, it's a very comprehensive democratic process that the people of Chicago voted to see take place. What I'm grateful for is that we have someone like Superintendent Waller who has the trust and confidence of the people of Chicago. And in the meantime, we're going to continue to build a better, stronger city, and we're going to make sure that the force is fully layered with a complementary approach. The full force of government will continue to be on display to bring a better, stronger, safer Chicago into fruition.
Mayor, you can't be particularly happy with what happened over the weekend. 46 people shot, 9 killed, according to CPD. What needs to be modified in the anti-violence plan to knock those numbers down to what's more acceptable, and what is acceptable?
Yeah, look, Chicago has suffered a great deal of pain, and all of us have experienced that pain for a very long time in Chicago. And it's one of the motivations that led me to this office. What you're going to see over time is a more sophisticated, sharp response to what public safety has to look like. And that's our faith community. Obviously, you've probably read that our corporations and business leaders are stepping up. And then, of course, being more strategic about how we administer support throughout the city of Chicago. And over these last 3 weeks since I've been mayor, it's been 3 weeks, 3 weeks, is that about it? Over these last 3 weeks, I've had the opportunity to work with the variety of stakeholders to continue to administer a plan that will engender the type of confidence that we're going to need to create a better, stronger, safer Chicago.
How does this graduating class factor into that plan?
Well, many of you all know that I've been very vocal about making sure that we train and promote more detectives. People of Chicago want us to solve violent crime in the city. And there are strategic plans that are being implemented to get us to a better clearance rate. But what this graduating class indicates is that despite the divisive nature that some individuals wish to invoke, that the city of Chicago is united. You saw on display, I believe a third of the graduates were women. We have a sizable number of people of color who are signing up. And the reason why that's remarkable, because many of these families who are serving in this capacity as police officers were born and raised in the very neighborhoods that have been disinvested in. That says an awful lot about the soul of Chicago, people willing to serve in communities that they've been raised in, and they continue to raise their family in this city. And so it's an indication that, as I've said repeatedly, my administration is bringing people together. And that's what we're going to continue to do.
Mayor, you said during your remarks in there,
One more.
here, and then
Only because he's wearing shades. Go ahead.
Obviously, as a new mayor, you don't want to see your city criticized, and you mentioned there, if you're not from Chicago, you don't have the right to talk about it. How do you expect that people are not going to criticize if things aren't going well, particularly a violent weekend, and who in particular was that directed at?
I think it's important that we're reflective about our approach towards public safety. What I find disingenuous is where were these individuals when schools were being shut down and closed? Do they have a critique? Then, where were these individuals when homes were being shuttered? Now look, we're the city of Chicago. It's the greatest city in the world. Of course people are going to have an assessment and an evaluation of who we are because we're important to the entire country and to this global economy. What I'm articulating is this: if you're not sincere about putting some skin in the game to help build a better, stronger, safer Chicago, anybody can critique the Cubs or the White Sox or my administration. What are you willing to do to make sure that the city that birthed the first black president, the city that took the approach that Chairman Fred articulated, that every child deserves to eat before they go to school and have access to health care, unless you're providing those type of solutions and reflections, to me, why bother to even talk about it? So it's not so much a critique of someone's assessment, it's more of a critique of their authenticity and their genuineness. Thank you all very much.
Question about Margaret from my colleague, Sarah Schulte.